and we could quite possibly, I'm not guaranteeing it, depending on its quality and its condition, use some of the playground equipment from Vernondale. The Ridgefield stuff has to stay there because of the way the subdivision was set up.
Chris, we need a playground.
Yeah, so we'll be looking at that.
Hey, Mr. Delfrat, no plaque, but can I write my name on something like that?
Well, remember,
Like a sliding board or something, can I write
It's
my
on the
name?
prefab restroom.
Now you're talking.
on one of the stalls.
My middle name is John, okay, so that would work.
Thinking of the perfect place.
The John.
Regarding
Michael John, you know.
that does bring us to the bid tab. When we originally developed the land development plan, we had made provisions for putting in a future structure. A structure that could be restroom indoor facility. As part of the bid that was awarded to the company doing the excavation of the blacktop and the sidewalks, we included water and sewer service to that location, just as a dead-end cap. So, basically, we've already paid for the water and the sewer. Okay? It's already been awarded in that bid tab. What we're looking now is to bring in this pre-constructed concrete structure for $68,500. And it is that complete. You basically bring it in, they bring it in, the manufacturers, with a crane, and they literally set it on top of your connections. And then we go in as a district and make the connections to the water and the sewer. I mean, it's one piece. It has two sides with urinals and toilets. We have leftover partitions from the job we're doing up in McDowell that we'll reuse in there. It also has its own kind of heating unit inside. It is a one-stop shop. Okay? If you tried to recreate this from the ground up and build this, you would pay 1.5 at least times that much. Plus, the big thing with this is that we have it approved by BIU because of its structure and its nature. BIU is giving us only the need to supply service for the tennis courts. So that's why we can go with that size. Okay?
Is there any requirements from the township permits, anything like
We
that?
will get our permits. We'll need a building permit.
Okay.
Because we have to put in a gravel base. We're going to put in an 8-inch gravel base compacted. That's per spec. And literally, sometime in the future, if anybody ever change your mind, you can literally disconnect this, get a crane in, pick it up, and move it somewhere else. You're looking at me with some confused eyes, Mr. Pike.
Just flip it, it's been flipping.
Yeah.
Oh, it's flipping on yours? Oh, in the actual,
In PDF scan inside.
yeah. That's the way it should look. It may have gotten flipped in the PDF that was submitted on
That's all
Word
right.
docs.
No, that's-
So, that's what I'm asking be moved to the board meeting at the end of the month for approval.
Now, is this gonna be open, the bathroom's gonna be open?
We're gonna put time locks on it that will have them open, I don't know, sun up to sundown, kind of a 7 to 9 thing. It's very similar to what Asbury Woods has at the barn and at the actual Asbury Woods. We'll put a timing lock on it. Okay. There were some other questions in terms of the whole campus and the whole complex. When it snows hard enough that we can't use the facilities, we'll shut it down. We won't plow, we won't do anything. So as long as we as a district are able to use that field or those tennis courts based on weather, we will keep the lot clear and available. Once Mother Nature basically takes those facilities away from us, we won't plow. So that in itself will keep people out of there. We don't want people there in the winter. Around the track, or around the field, I forgot to ask, or tell you, there's a 2-lane track. It will enable us to shut down Gus Anderson Field, lock it down, no one in there ever, unless it's a competition.
The track is just what, blacktop?
It's just a blacktop by 2 minutes, yeah. It's not a regular running track. Like that surface that goes around our field is quite expensive.
Hey, Tom, a question for you. They used to, when I would drive by 38th Street, in our this area that had the parking lot, I would see motorcycle training taking place there. Are they able to use our facility?
They
across
no
the street?
longer do that here. I think it was insurance liability.
I wondered, because I used to always see that, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are there bathroom facilities for the baseball, softball?
There are excuse me, there's a concession stand and bathroom down here behind the baseball field.
Okay.
That was built probably 8 years ago, 9 years ago.
So this is more to facilitate the new multi-purpose field?
This would be to facilitate the multi-purpose field, tennis courts, basically give access to restrooms for whoever is using it.
Tom, do we need to use Skater to connect that bathroom, or can we use our guys or
Now,
somebody?
actually, what I'm doing right now is, and again, I apologize if I'm taking up too much time, but right now, because when Shellman's bid on the project, Mill Creek still owned our water system. In that process, after the bid was awarded, Erie Water Authority took over, which opened up a whole new set of worms and another set of games. What I'm appealing to Shellman is to allow us, for him to credit us all the costs, and he already had sent me an itemized list for the sewer and water connection. I'm asking for him to give us a total credit on that and let us take it from the east or the west of Kahi all the way to that site with an independent, another contractor. We ourselves, we might have to have a certified plumber make the final connection, but we will be running all the pipe and everything necessary with in-house to operate that.
I mean, if you use an Erie County plumber that's good or whatever, because I mean, I've seen some of the bills that Spader comes up with.
Yeah, Spader will not be involved, and we only go to Spader for those things that are way above our pay grade.
Gotcha.
Okay?
Yep.
In addition, we're also running 2 security lights here and across the street, by the way. We're putting 2 security lights in this parking lot, and we're running 2 security lights here. One will be at the end of this swale, and the other will be down in this corner. We're feeding it off a pole off of 38th Street. We make the connection. Penelec doesn't charge us anything to make the final connection to the pole.
Do we have any issues with the new Mill Creek ordinance, the tree planting?
Do we have issues?
With that?
No, the only issue we have is I am working cooperatively with the township. There's a tree revitalization grant that they apply for each year. Plus, I have several different connections out to a couple of area nurseries. I know that one of the Hanlons has a pretty tight connection with Johnson Nursery, and actually the township has already offered several trees to help replace the ones they're removing on the west side, putting in that swale. So the next step after I get this in the ground is to go back, as Mr. Hall said, and do a landscaping project, which would include trees, bushes,
Right.
that kind of
So
stuff.
would it be the new ordinance of the park?
That's what this is.
Right. I
Right
just
here.
wanted to know if that was gonna add anything to.
Yeah, that's what this is right here, this green space.
Okay.
And what the expectation is that at some point, which we will do, we'll plant 2 trees, one on each end here in the new parking lot, and the same thing here. So we'll put those trees in
Are
there.
we obligated to do that?
At that obligated, it was one of those, because it was actually part of the land development plan approval for the west side. So I wouldn't use the word obligated, that's
I just
pretty
didn't know when
harsh.
the ordinance went into effect and all those.
Yeah. But we're gonna do our due diligence. The last thing I want to present to you, just so you know, kind of thing, is that when we started the Phase 3 projects, we had a balance of about 4.1 million. As of today, encumbered against that 4.1 million are these projects. We had some miscellaneous costs to address leftover things from Phase 2. We have addressed additional capital reserve maintenance and repairs within our infrastructure. The Hanlon complex, along, including the turf and the fencing and everything, is 1.8. Right now, the McDowell Athletic Center is at $1 million. Remember, we initially budgeted 1.5 million, so it's well below its budget. And to date, we have spent on these projects about $137,000 in architectural design and permit fees. That leaves us with about $151,000 left for what we call contingency, change orders. When they start tearing up that dirt on the east side of Kahi, don't know what you're going to find, so we need that as a cushion. We have also have all along planned to use the remainder of the